Hello, listeners. Today is January 7th, and this is A Garden a Day with Maidenbrock Gardens. It's time to travel the world again. Grab your passport and hop on a plane, because we are going nearly 8,000 miles from yesterday's gardens in San Diego to today's garden in Giza, Egypt. Our garden today is the Orman Botanic Garden. The garden began as the Giza Royal Palace Gardens on 98 acres built during the reign of the Khedive Ismail between 1863 and 1879. The original garden was divided into three parts. The first was the lemon garden, which was planted with many different kinds of fruits and berries to provide the palace with fresh fruit. Lemons were grown there, of course, as were oranges, apricots, blackberries, and many other fruits and berries. The second part of the garden was the salamlik, or public receiving garden. This was the garden where visitors to the palace were received. The third part of the garden was the haremlik. This was the private family garden. In 1868, Khedive Ismail hired French gardener and landscaper Gustave Hubert de Chevalerie as chief gardener of the Egyptian palaces. In 1875, Khedive Ismail decided to replace the lemon garden with a forest, or orman in Turkish, in the style of the Bois de Boulogne in Paris. He had hired the architect of the Bois de Boulogne, Jean-Pierre Barrier Deschamps, 2 years earlier to design his gardens, but the architect became ill and succumbed to his illness not long after. So the royal gardener, de Chevalerie, continued the work. Through the years, the garden was reduced in size from its original 98 acres to its current 28 acres. Parts of the original haremlik and salamlik gardens were reimagined as the Giza Zoo. The remaining area of the haremlik garden became the location of Cairo University, and the salamlik garden was removed to make way for the School of Engineering. The palace building was torn down, and the schools for agriculture and veterinary medicine were built in its place. El Orman, or the forest, remains. The garden opened to the public in 1917. The garden today includes a small botanical museum with herbarium of dried plant specimens of both cultivated and wild plants dating from the Khedive Ismail, as well as furniture and specimens from the private collection of King Farouk, who reigned from 1936 to 1952. El Orman is home to a few rare species of plants, with some existing nowhere else in Egypt. Those include the balsa wood tree, Eschinomene elefroxylon, the red cassia, Cassia roxburghii, and mountain immortelle, Erythrina poepigiana, as well as the endangered cycad, Cycas beddomei, and palm, Latania. Probably the most notable part of the Orman Botanic Garden is the lotus pond, where you'll find two of Egypt's most well-known plants, lotus and papyrus. The Botanic Garden also boasts a 2-acre rose garden, cactus garden, and rock garden. Since 1920, Orman Botanic Garden has hosted an annual spring festival in March. It's the oldest continuous flower exhibition in Egypt and generally lasts the full month. During the festival, visitors can purchase various plants, pots, gardening supplies, and artisan goods. The garden provides children's programs throughout the year and is a great spot for families. You can take a picnic lunch and spend the day enjoying the plants and fresh air. Thanks for listening today. If you like A Garden a Day, and I hope you do, please consider liking, subscribing, and telling your friends. If you're able, please also consider giving us a 5-star review. It lets me know you like the show, and it also helps others find the podcast. I really do appreciate it. And as a reminder, I do not use social media, so you won't be able to find me on any of those platforms. You can, however, leave a comment on Spotify, YouTube, Good Pods, or any of the major podcast networks that allow it. If you prefer to send a message directly to me, you can do that by sending email to maidenbrock@gmail.com. That's MAEDUNBROC. I will do my best to read your comments and reviews anywhere you leave them, and I do thank you for getting in contact with me. If all goes well, I'll be right back here tomorrow. See you then!